Hey everybody. So, I apologize if this video is a little less organized than, than my thinking usually is, because my thinking is usually so organized. But this is probably even less so. A lot of times when I record videos, I have had a lot of time thinking about stuff. I'm not a fast thinker. I love that there are fast thinkers in the world, but I am not a fast thinker. I often realize what should have been said after the fact. But I've tried to accommodate for that and give myself time to think before I respond, even sleep on ideas or communication before I act on it. This one is going to be a little more politically oriented rather than psychologically or personally oriented. One of the things that I like to do is puzzle over things, try to put the pieces together. And living in the United States, under the United States government, we've got a current political situation where President Trump is in charge of things, and for some reason, Congress has decided to toe the line with him. I guess they felt very afraid of him. For some reason, I'm not sure why they were so afraid of him. I guess they thought that he had a lot of political influence. It doesn't make sense to me. If he'd gotten over 50% of the vote in the election, then okay, that would make sense. But I kind of think that the real reason has more to do with money than with influence. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was money in politics and how I think that is really what has gotten us where we are today. Because President Trump being elected, I kind of want to believe that he stole the election. Not that there's anything that can be done about it now. Unless you get some kind of extreme revelation and the people rally and rage. I mean, apparently Trump's approval rating is now down to 33%, which I feel is still too much. I don't understand how 1 in 3 people can still say, yeah, he's doing a good job, because I don't see a single thing that he has done that is good. Some people point to the border and immigration situation. People that are informed are aware that of what has happened in Minneapolis and what has happened everywhere, and how much abuse is going on. And now that there are these detention facilities, concentration camps, basically, not in the Auschwitz style of murdering lots and lots of people and burning their bodies necessarily, but the concentration is that people are crammed into these detention facilities, and they're in the pursuit of getting more and more. I don't see any positive thing coming from this. I feel like the big energy around immigration was coming from fear and hatred, racism, not just racism necessarily, but economic fear, which politicians have linked the economy and crime to immigrants, saying the economy is worse because of immigrants, crime is worse because of immigrants, and they claim this over and over and over again. They might even tell a little story, but the facts, the data, does not back them up. But people still believe them. And to those people, I'm sorry to say, you were lied to. You were deceived. I'm sorry that a beloved reality show core figure lied to you, but that is what has happened. Okay, so people that point to immigration, there was never a problem with immigration to begin with. We are a country of immigrants. We always have been. Suddenly you want to change that. No, we are still a country of immigrants. It still benefits us to have immigrants. These are the people that want to improve their lives. The criminals, the problem makers, they don't come to the United States to improve their lives. They still stay where they are. Whatever country that is, they probably stay where they are and sit in their squalor and create their gangs. People come to the land of liberty, the land of freedom, to improve their lives, to give their children a life that they did not have. These are good people. Maybe they did not follow the designated channels for coming here, but in their hearts, in their morality, they are good people. Now, do I have data to back this up? No. So take it with a grain of salt. But this is logic. Why would, and people have made this argument, like, illegal immigrants aren't voting in elections. Why would they do something that is against the law? Why would they come to this country at great risk to themselves and their families, and then risk that by doing something illegal like voting, or like killing, or like raping, or stealing, or whatever it is? These things that they're accused of over and over again. It does not logic. It doesn't make sense that they would do that. Now, maybe a generation or two in, after having a lot of American influence, then they might start committing a lot of crimes. But the people who are actually coming here, those are people that want to improve their lives. That is the only thing that makes sense. They don't come to the United States because crime is easier there, because they're going to get off, or something like that, because they're going to be, because the government is going to turn a blind eye when they commit crimes, or something. If they want to commit crimes, they're just going to do it in their own countries. They come here at great risk to themselves. I've already said this, because they want to improve their lives. Okay, immigration. So that's aside. Somebody said, "Oh, he did a great job with Venezuela." Venezuela. This is just so confusing. I don't know. I didn't really intend to get into all of these topics, but it is still confusing to me that 1 in 3 people still say, "Yeah, he's doing a good job." But I think that there's a few different psychological things going on here. One has to do with religion. This is not the direction that I was planning on taking this. One has to do with religion. I was raised religious. I was raised believing in my leaders and the leaders of my religion, believing that no matter what they said, it was God's will. No matter what happened in my life, it was God's will. Doesn't matter how bad things get, it must be God wanting this. And when you have that much faith in your leaders, and the things that they say, and the things that they decide, and the things that they change, they can do no wrong. And if that is how people are seeing Trump, is he can do no wrong, then yeah, he really can start as many wars as he wants, murder as many Americans as he wants, open as many concentration camps as he wants, create as many tariffs, destroy the economy, raise gas prices, all of those things. He can do those things, and people will say, well, he can do no wrong. He has a greater understanding than I do, and I will just defer to him on everything. And that's the people that actually know about all of these things. Some people just turn a blind eye. Oh, there's a war in Iran? Not even going to think about it. I'm just going to put that out of my head. Oh, gas prices? Oh man, this is really frustrating. Not even going to think about it. I guess I will get drunk instead? I don't know. I don't know. But that may be one reason. I think another reason might have to do with the sunk cost fallacy, where they're like, oh yeah, I've been supporting him, and now he's doing all these bad things, and if I were to reject him now, then that means that I was wrong before, probably. And I don't want to say that I was wrong before, so I'm just going to dig my heels in. Those are the two of the big things that I can think of. I guess there's another one where I have 4 kids. I'm a parent. And when I was raising those kids, I didn't have any energy to pay attention to world events. I was so busy paying gas. I mean, that's kind of hard to miss, buying food. But it takes a lot of energy to take care of kids, especially if that's not your forte. And just as I have said, everybody's different. Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. Some people are great, awesome parents naturally. Some people really have to work at it. I think that, I think that some people are great with babies, and some people are great with toddlers, and some people are great with grade school kids and high schoolers, and just some people aren't great with kids at any age. But that's really not what I wanted to talk about, but it's something that I really believe. So I'll just throw it in there. But yeah, when you're a parent, especially if you're not good at being a parent, then you're probably buried in things like paying bills and getting kids clean and fed, whatever age they are, because that doesn't stop. It just changes and it just evolves along with the kids. But still, so much time is spent in feeding and cleaning these children. So I may have to, I have to stop.